Good day, everyone. We are now on the concept of adding and subtracting integers. The objectives of this topic is, in these lessons, you will learn to perform addition and subtraction of integers, And number two, solve problems involving integers. The keywords for addition are sum plus add total of increased by more or more than raise combined in all together additional together both added to. So these are keywords that you should remember that can be used as finding the sum of values. While keywords for subtraction, less or less than, minus, decreased by, difference, reduce, lose of, remain, remainder, remaining, fell, drop, changed, further, how much less, diminished, grow down, subtract from, subtract by, and subtract to. Rules for adding integers. Like signs, like adding two or more integers. If you are adding like sign, like adding positive plus positive number, or negative plus positive plus negative. So finding the sum of their absolute values and use the sign common to both integers. While unlike sign, like adding positive plus positive be added by a negative, or negative plus positive, your task here is to find the difference of their absolute values and use the sign of the integer with greater absolute value. To continue, example number 1. If we are required to add negative 9 plus negative 3, so notice that a negative sign of 3 precedes a plus sign, meaning you are required to add. So this number, or the second term, by the way, is subject to be simplified with the operation provided. So it's negative 3 multiplied by positive sign or plus sign, so it will become negative. So what happened to our expression this time? Negative 9, negative 3, meaning we are adding now like sign. And to add like sign according to the rule, you can add it directly. And of course, bring the sign of the numbers. So we have the sum of negative 12. For letter B, adding negative 9 plus 6 plus the negative 4. Again, same thing that we're going to do, you distribute or multiply -4, negative sign to the plus sign, so that becomes negative. So the expression now turned out to become -9 plus 6 minus 4. So to make it safer, next step that you're going to do is to add like sign. So -9 is to be added directly by -4. According to the rule, we can combine them directly so that their sum is equal to -13. And to be added by +6. It seems that the expression now turned out to become unlike sign, and -13 is greater, so it will be subtracted by 6. So that 13 minus 6 is equal to 7. So bring the sign of the greater value, which is 13. So final answer is -7. For letter C, so the operation there tells us directly to simplify. Since we are dealing with unlike sign, the greater value is -15. So we need to subtract it by +11. So their difference is equal to -4. For letter D, adding 21 plus -2 plus -15 plus -17. So again, you have to settle down the sign of the original sign of the number to the operation. So 21 minus 2 minus 15 minus 17. And then adding like sign, so -2 plus -15 plus 17, we have -32. And -32 is greater than 21, find the difference. So the answer is -11. By the way, of the provided activity here, try it. So try to answer the following. So you'll be given time to answer. So let's continue to the next discussion. Notice that if opposites are added, the sum is always 0. Meaning, the same value of opposite signs, the same number of opposite signs, the answer is 0. Even though it's an addition process, we are using addition property of opposites. So again, we have to multiply negative sign of the, like for example, for the formula here, A plus the negative A. So multiply negative A to plus sign, so it becomes A minus A. So that it is equivalent to 0. Number 2, adding property of 0. Any number to be added by 0, it remains itself. So 0 plus A plus 0 is equal to A, or 0 plus A is equal to A. For example, we are required to add 11 plus the -11. So it becomes 11 minus 11. The answer is 0. For letter B, -20 to be added by 0, the answer is -20. For letter C, -20 plus 15 plus 20. So in this case, we add like sign here. So we have 35 plus 20, minus 20. So it should be 35. Stand corrected here. So we'll correct. That's 35 instead of By the way, we will correct that later. That's 35, negative 20 plus 35. So the answer is 15. Positive 15. So again, we have a try it activity. Try to answer the following numbers or expression provided, then simplify accordingly. We will continue to the next. Okay, another information. You can use a number line to show addition of two numbers start at 0. Move to the right to add positive integers. Move to the left to add negative integers. By the way, if you heard interference here on the sound, and noise sounds, we are isolating class. Okay, continue. You can use a number line to show again the addition of two numbers. So start with 0. So use 0 as your reference of expanding integers from left to right. So what I'm showing here, I'm doing a number line, calibrating 0 to positive 10, and on the left side, 0 to negative 14. For the purpose of addressing the examples provided here. So, example number 3, use a number to add the following integers. Now, to add 5 plus 4 is equivalent to 9. So, to calibrate 9, so I have here the red arrow to the right, increasingly to the right. So, I have to identify first the 5 units from 0 to the right. Then, we will proceed to the next, adding by a 4 unit distance from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, until we reach up 9. So, the answer satisfies the given manipulative result here. Adding 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. So, it is true that a number line can also show addition of integers, 2 or more integers. Next, letter B. Find the sum of 7 and negative 3. So, 7 plus negative 3 is equal to 7 minus 3. Unlike sign, 7 subtracted by 3, the answer is positive 4. So, I'm using here, I think it's a violet or blue arrow. Since 7 is positive, so I should have to calibrate it to the right, finding the 7 units from 0. But since the operation is changed by subtracting it by 3, so I should have to go back from 7 to the left side. So counting from 7, 3 units to the left. So I end up at 4. The answer is 4. So again, number line also shows illustrates the addition of two integers, 2 or more integers. Okay, letter C. Letter C, you're required to add negative 8 plus negative 6. So multiplying negative sign to positive, so it becomes negative. So what happened to now to the operation? Negative 8, negative 6, meaning you are required to add them. Since they are like sign, the answer is equal to negative 14. So in that case, we have to calibrate negative 8 from 0. So it's here. It is up to this point. We have negative 8. Then we will add to the left again by 6 units. So it ends up at negative 14. Again, number line shows the addition of two integers. Let's continue. By the way, you are required to perform the try-it activity. So at this point, you're given time to answer. So let's now proceed to the next. We are talking about using sign, addition using sign tiles. Okay. This is another device that can be used to represent integers. The tile positive represents one integer. The tile negative represents 1 unit. Negative 1 unit. And the flexible sign plus minus represents 0, meaning adding unlike sign of the same value is 0. Now example, use tile to add the following. So adding 5 plus negative 3, so it's just the same as, again, multiplying negative sign to the plus sign, so it becomes 5 minus 3. So you can directly assign that your answer would be positive because positive 5 is greater than negative 3. So that the difference is equivalent to 2. The answer is positive 2. For letter B, negative 7 plus negative 4. So negative 4 will be multiplied by a plus sign, so it becomes negative 4. So again, like sign, we can add in numerically. So 7 plus 4 is equal to negative 11. Do the try-it activity again. Okay, next example. Necessary is charge 3,752 pesos worth of groceries on her credit card. Find her balance after she made a payment of 2,530. So the charge is 3,752 more than what she paid, so that to find the balance is to subtract 3,752 pesos by 2,530 pesos, so that the difference is equal to 1,222 pesos. Okay. Try to answer the problem. By the way, additional problem given is serve as your assignment. We pass next. Okay, let's continue to subtracting integers. Okay, here are the rules that should be considered. Remember, subtracting numbers has a restriction, meaning what is minuend is always minuend, and that is to be subtracted by the subtrahend. And that is restriction should be observed accordingly. Now, to subtract an integer, add its opposite or for all numbers a and b. So like for example, negative a minus b is just equal to a to be added by negative b. Note that we can use the idea to keep change or KKC, meaning the idea of always changing the sign of the subtrahend. Example, convert its difference into sum. So, letter A, 9 minus negative 3. So, again, multiply that negative sign to minus sign. So, we are now changing the sign of the subtrahend so that it becomes 9 plus 3. Final answer is 12. For letter B, negative 10, negative 6. So, we're not, even though there's no need for you to change the sign of subtrahend because the subtrahend, by the way, is a positive value. So that positive value or positive 6 to be multiplied by negative, still it becomes negative 6. And it turned out that negative 10 is like sign to negative 6. So we are just adding directly. So the final answer is negative 16. So for your own consumption again, try to answer the try 8 activity. Example number 2. Subtract by using algebraic tiles. Okay? So, negative 5 minus negative 3. So, it seems that the answer is tile is negative. Why? Because it turned out, and the way of changing the sign of tile, it becomes positive 3. Unlike signs is a negative 5, then negative 5 plus 3 would have a difference of negative 2. So letter B, positive 6 to be subtracted by negative 4. Multiply negative times negative, turn out to become positive. So by changing the sign of subtrahend, it becomes positive 4. So all of them now becomes positive sign, so we can add it directly. And the answer is positive 10. Use tile to subtract. Following. Okay, we'll proceed to the next. Okay, example number 3. We use a number line to subtract the following integers. Letter A, you're required to subtract negative 3 minus negative 2. So if we simplify, it becomes negative 3 plus 2. So we can show it using the number line that positive 3 to be added by 2 units. So we are now on okay. By the way, I don't know what happened to the line graph here. So, it turned out it is distorted by the assigning of numbers. So again, the center here would be equal to 0. So, counting 3 units to the right, so we have 1, 2, 3. Then it turned out that by multiplying negative 2 to a minus sign, it becomes positive. So we are adding 2 units to the right. So that the final answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the answer. Okay. There's a heavy rain going on. So we shall continue. For letter B, we are required to add negative 2 minus negative 4 minus 5. So we will settle first the sign of negative 4, so it becomes negative 2 plus 4 minus 5. Adding like sign, so we have negative 7 plus 4. So that the difference is equal to negative 3. So how can we show it in the line graph? Number 2. So we will change we are counting the 7 units to the left. So we have negative 1, negative 2, 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. But we will add it by negative 4, unlike sign. So we'll go back 4 units to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so that the answer is negative 3. Okay, next, use a number line to subtract the following. I think this is try it activity. You have to answer letters A and B. For example, number 4. Subtract the following. I think we're done in example number 3. So to subtract 7 minus positive 9. So positive sign will be multiplied by negative sign in a way of changing the sign of subtraction. So it turned out that 7 minus 9. And minus 9 is greater than 7, so 9 minus 7 is negative 4. So letter B. Negative 16 minus negative 3. Multiply negative sign to negative sign, so it becomes, the sign now is changing to positive. So negative 16 to be subtracted by positive 3, the answer is negative 13. For letter C, negative 8 minus negative 5 minus 6, we have negative 8 plus 5 minus 6. Adding 8 and negative 6, which becomes negative 14. Finding the difference with 5, the final answer is negative 9. For letter B, or letter D, then minus negative 4 minus negative 50 minus 20. So it is equal to 10 plus 6 plus 50 minus 20. Adding like sign, so 10 plus 6 plus 50 is equal to positive 66 minus 20. Final answer is positive 46. Answer the try it activity. Example number 6. Replace each with the less than, greater than, equal to symbol. equality and equal symbol to make a statement true. So for letter A, we are add negative 4 minus negative 3. Is it what symbol should be used in order to satisfy the statement? Negative compared to negative 9 minus negative 5, simplifying further. Negative 4 plus 3 compared it with negative 9 plus 5. So adding them, we have negative 1 compared to negative 4, so that negative 1 is greater than 4, negative 4. For letter B, absolute value of 3 minus negative 3 minus the absolute value of 8. Simplifying it, it becomes absolute value of negative 3 is 3 minus absolute value of 8 is 8. Compared to the other, on the left side of the statement, 9, absolute value of 9 minus the absolute value of negative 9. So, absolute value of 9 is 9. Absolute value of negative 9 is 9. But there is already a minus sign here, so 9 minus 9. So, we are comparing a number of negative 5 and 0. So that negative 5 is less than 0. Then you are required to perform the try it activity. Okay, for example, number 7. Find the difference in the altitude between mountain of 3,900 feet high and a valley of 785 feet below sea level. So how are we going to put this into a statement? Okay. That 3,900 feet will be subtracted by, because of below sea level, we are subtracting it by a negative 785 feet. So it turned out that 3,900 feet, negative times negative, so it becomes positive. So that is to be added by 785 feet. So that the final answer for this example is equivalent to 4,685 feet. For number 8, the melting point of mercury, nitrogen, 9 degrees, negative 210 degrees Celsius, positive 181 degrees Celsius, and 113 degrees Celsius respectively. So you are required to find, in letter A, the difference between the melting point of lithium and the melting point of nitrogen. So the melting point of lithium is equivalent to 181 degrees. That is to be subtracted by negative 210 degrees Celsius. So it turned out the statement now becomes 181 degrees Celsius minus or plus 210 degrees Celsius. Again, there's a correction here. By distributing negative sign to the minus side, it becomes positive 210 degrees Celsius, which will be redirected, directly added by 181. So instead of 19 degrees, will you please correct it? The sum of 210 plus 181, so we have 391 degrees Celsius is the answer. For letter B, we are required to find the difference between the melting point of mercury and the melting point of nitrogen. So For mercury, we have negative 39 degrees Celsius to be subtracted by the melting point of the nitrogen is equal to negative 210 degrees Celsius. So that finalizing our statement, we have negative 39 degrees Celsius plus 210 degrees Celsius. Finding the difference between 210 by 39, final answer is positive 171 degrees Celsius. Letter C. Find the difference between melting point of lithium and melting point of mercury. So 181 degrees Celsius to be subtracted by negative 39 degrees Celsius. So negative times a minus sign, so it becomes a positive 39 degrees Celsius to be added by 181 degrees Celsius. Final answer is 220 degrees Celsius. Okay, perform the triad activity. I think that will be all. This is your teacher, Mr. Cedric A. Borres. Thank you and good day again.